Hey everyone, so this is the fourth video of the series Learn GoLang with me, and in this video I wanted to discuss the conditional statements present in the GoLang. Now this is a very basic topic, and to be honest I do not need to make any video on this, but because I just started making videos, I is going to be kind of a formality or for a practice for me, because I want to improve how I'm making videos. Okay, so let me just jump into the topic and be done with it. I will erase this example. The example which I just deleted, it was related to let's say a person goes to a mall and he wants to buy a product, but the product amount is greater than what the money he's possessing in his account. So of course the transaction will get declined if he's using his card, right? Because the bank has a check that no amount can be deducted if it is more than the account balance, right? Now if you want to write this in a piece of code in the GoLang, how you are going to do it? So that's all what this video is about. Okay, so I will teach two cases. The first case is going to be where there cannot be a negative account balance, and the second case will be where there can be a negative account balance, because I also want to just give you a simple example of nesting if else condition. Okay, so let's discuss the case first. So what I'm going to do is I want to create two variables. Let's say where account balance comma product amount, and these two are going to be type of int 32. Now I want to take the input from the command line. Okay, and for that what I'm supposed to do, fmt.scanf address or percentage. It should be percentage of d means integer, and first I'm going to take the input of account balance, but the user doesn't know who is going to use this program whether whatever amount is entering, it will go to account balance variable or product amount variable. So that's why I'm going to add a prompt here. Or just write please enter the account balance, sorry. Please enter the account balance, and the second prompt is going to be please enter the product amount. Now as you can see that until and unless this variable is not used, it will show a red mark. So that's a key feature of a GoLang compiler, because the GoLang compiler doesn't allow any kind of memory leaks. So without using the variable, you just cannot simply declare it and go ahead with the program. Okay, now I want to do the comparison. The user has entered these kind of details and he wants to see whether the transaction is going to be successful or not. Let me add a processing prompt. Now the main logic will goes. Okay, so how to use if else? If So the keyword should be if. After that it follows with a condition. Okay, as you can see that there is a greater than operator, and you don't need to enclose this in these kind of brackets. Even if you do, it will work as it is, but you can just simply skip it if the condition is too simple. So if the product amount is greater than account balance, what I want to do, I do not want to proceed with the transaction and I should print it. Else I will print okay. So let's just test this code. I will go to my main.go file, and here I've already imported the function and I will execute it. How can I execute it? First I will build a project. Even though that is not required, you can just simply type go run main.go, and the build was successful. So now I will type go run main.go. Please enter the account balance. Let's say I enter 40. Please enter the product amount. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. Please enter the product amount percentage D. Processing the transaction. Why the product amount is not coming? fmt.scanf percentage D product amount. Let me run it again. 20. It seems that I have made one mistake somewhere. Where account balance product amount in 32 and percentage of D. Okay, I got it. I didn't add this address of operator. So because I'm initially, many people do these kind of mistakes, which even I did. I hope so they do. Okay, now this will work, and I can enter the amount. Transaction declined. I will run it again. So this time I'm going to add the product amount as, sorry, the account balance as 50, and the product amount is going to be 49. So transaction was successful. It was a very simple example. Okay, now let's see that there can be a negative account balance. So in this case, what I want to do is that, let's say if the user buys a product whose cost was $40. Okay, and account balance was $38. So because initially the account balance is positive, the transaction should succeed and the account balance will become -2. So this case is allowed. Okay, the one time negative balance is allowed, but if the account balance is already negative, it should not proceed with the transaction. So what I mean to say is that, let's say if the product was having cost of $40 and account balance was already negative, let's say 3 -$3. So this case won't succeed. Okay, and let's say the product cost was around $40 again, and the account balance was, let's say, $1. Okay, now what I want to do is that the negative balance should not be greater than -$10. I want to add this check. So the transaction should get declined. Now how I'm going to write this? Okay, so the first thing is, what I will do is I will create a different function nested if else demo. So that's how you write the complicated conditions using nesting. And let me remove this. Okay, and I'm gonna use the same exact code here. Okay, and I need some few more variables, right? So what I need to know is that first I need to know the account balance, the input will come from the prompt. Actually all the inputs are going to be come from the prompt, and product, and let's say the user can also add if negative account balance is allowed or not. Let's say I'm gonna call yes or no. Actually it will also come from a prompt, and the user can enter only yes or no. There cannot be any input other than that. Okay, if it is, then I should throw an error. If I will not be explaining the error as of now, just think of it as a separate pathway, that whenever the thing doesn't go your way, then you just abandon the program. Okay, the program won't execute further. And if it is allowed, then what is going to be the limit? This will also come from the prompt. Okay, now I have to write the program. Okay, so these two variables are already declared, and I also need to declare few more variables. Is allowed will store whether the negative account balance is allowed or not. It is a kind of a config variable, and the type is going to be boolean, and there's going to be another variable uh, is negative balance limit. I'm gonna call it, and this is also going to be an int32 type. Okay, and it might be possible that if is allowed is input as a no, then this variable won't be having any value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it as a default. Okay, and the default is going to be 0. Instead of calling it as the negative balance limit, I can also call it as the minimum balance limit. And when is allowed is false, which means negative balance cannot be allowed, then in that case the minimum balance is going to be a 0. Okay, now because this variable might be I want to give it a default value, so there is a way in GoLang. What you can do is you can just use this thing, assignment operator, and declare it to as 0 without using where or int32, these kind of keywords. So this is called as a type in interference in Go. So using the right hand side value, the GoLang can uh, check the type assigned to this variable. Okay, now okay, I've taken the input of account balance product, and I'm going to take few more inputs. Please tell us if the account should allow negative balance. Okay, and it should be this. Now I do not know how to take input of the boolean. Actually this is not going to be a boolean. Okay, it's going to be a string. Sorry, I made a mistake there. and this should become percentage of s. Okay, now if it is allowed, then only I will take the input of minimum balance limit, which means if is allowed is equals to yes, else I do not need any else condition, the default value is going to be 0. Then first I will add a prompt, take the input, okay. Now I will so all of these input has been taken, and this thing will print if product amount is greater than account balance, transaction declined, else transaction was successful. So this I need to uh, modify. So it doesn't matter if the product amount was greater than account balance. What I need to further check is if is allowed is equals to yes. Now because this is allowed, first I have to check again is that whether the difference, if uh, this should be basically if account balance minus product amount is greater than the minimum balance limit, then only I will allow the transaction, else transaction was declined. Okay, do you guys think that this code will work? It has gotten already too complicated even for me. Let's go to main.go and run this function. Okay, go build, go run main.go. Please enter the account balance. I'm gonna add as 30. Please enter the product amount. I'm gonna add it as 50. Please tell us if the account balance should allow negative balance. I want to say yes. Please enter the minimum balance limit. Okay, now that condition has become true. Which condition? This one. If is allowed is equals to yes, and this prompt you can see it was printed. Now let's see if I add the minimum balance as minus 30. Okay, and transaction was successful. Why? Because it was minus 30 and the difference was around minus 20. I'm going to run the program again, and this time, okay, I think I should clear it first. I don't know whether it will be visible on the video, my command terminal. And okay, please enter the account balance. Again I'm gonna add as 30, product amount as 50, yes, but this time I'm gonna lower the limit of increase the limit of the minimum balance, and that is going to be minus 10. It should not allowed, transaction was declined. I'm gonna run another test, go run main.go, and this time again 30 is going to be the account, 50 the product amount. Please tell us if the account should allow negative balance. This time I'm gonna type no, and processing the transaction. And why it didn't print the message of transaction was declined? Okay, I forgot to add a condition here also. Sorry. Where am I? Basic concept. Okay. First, I think I should build it, right? Go build. I'm gonna input the same as before. No, transaction was declined. Yeah, so this was all for the if else, guys. I have taught both the simple if else and I also taught both the nested condition. Now what you can also do is that instead of having these in one inside another, you can have it in one line. If product amount is greater than account balance and if is allowed is equals to yes, you can add it here. Yes, and you can remove this if else, and you also have to remove this thing. Wait a minute, else. Okay, this thing will be removed. Am I missing something? Yeah, this is not required anymore. And I can also add this thing again inside here. Okay, let me add this thing. And as I've told above, more than one condition it's not gonna work. If and yeah, even I do not need this thing. This line will also go away. If is allowed is equals to yes. Okay, now this code is perfectly formatted, and let's run it again. Go build, clear it, go run main.go 30 50, and let's say no. Why it got successful? Oh, sorry. $30, $50, no, and it was declined. Clear. And it was declined again. So you guys can try the last condition where the transaction gets successful. I think I might make one mistake. Okay, so just let me try itself. I do not want to deceive my viewers. 30, 50, yes, and let's say 20. transaction was declined because there is a greater than condition. Yeah, that's still fine. Clear, and go run main dot go. Go build 30, 50, yes, and 21 is going to be the negative limit, minus 21, and transaction was successful. Yeah, so I demonstrated all the cases, guys, and yeah, that's all for this video.